Jay Merante Comedy Show.
It's great to be here, Jay. Thanks for
Merante
having me.
Comedy on YouTube.
It's great to be back.
Joe, my good friend Joe Cunningham, with me here.
What's
This
this?
is not-
What's this?
Yeah, I'm showing this like this
What's
is
going
not
on?
a podcast.
It's not a podcast.
This is just two guys.
It's just like a
two
live
actors
show
talking
on your
about
comedy
whatever.
channel. Two great actors talking. Two of the greatest actors of our time.
Oh boy.
We're gonna get to deep water right away. Just jumped right into the deep end.
Off more than we could chew
Oh
right
man.
there, but I'm
Yes. Okay. All right.
Okay, so this is Claudius.
Claudius.
This is
Yes. Tell us about it.
This is a
You
play.
tell us about your part of it, and I'll tell them about my part of
I
it.
am writing this play called Claudius, and it's got a ways to go. I've only written a little bit, but I got a lot of good. I have an outline. I have good notes, and I
Pretty good notes.
It's pretty good notes.
Pretty good notes.
They're not bad.
Not
They're
bad.
decent notes. And
we lost a few of them in the river at one time.
Right, yes.
Yeah.
And this is going to be a play that we are going to. We don't know where it's going to be at, but we are going to
probably at the Landmark Theater, right?
I'm hoping Landmark. It's you got to dream big. You gotta dream big, Joe. So this play that I'm going to direct, I'm going to write and direct it, but I guess produce as well. Well, no, I'll have producers. Let me get investors, and it's going to be great. Probably hopefully in the fall, but it might take longer.
Might, yeah.
This play will happen. It's a prequel.
Yeah, you never know how long it's going to take.
Claudius the bad guy. I'm excited about it.
And my name is Joe Cunningham. I'm a local actor, filmmaker. Also co-run the Syracuse Actors Studio with Laura Stisser.
Which is awesome.
Open to the free. SAS is always free and open to everyone. Please, check out Syracuse Actors Studio on social media, and our next one's coming up in 2 weeks. Open to anybody. But I am making a film. It's a documentary about. Yeah, I mean we don't have to say the title right now, but cool? Yeah, we're making. No, it's okay. We're making a documentary about. Yes. I'm making a documentary.
Yes.
Amy Luce Films about Jay making this play, because Jay, I've always been inspired by Jay as an actor, and he co-directed the abridged version of Hamlet last year for Syracuse Shakespeare in the Park, and I'm just like, this, I'm interested in him as someone who's a creative. So I asked Jay permission if I could film him doing, putting this play together, the process of making a play, the creative process, and he said yes. So
it's a cool behind the scenes look.
Yeah, it's like a behind the scenes look at how someone is putting to during their dream, putting together a play, etc. So I'm doing this. This is my first documentary, and it's coming along. So tune in to Amy Luce Films on Instagram and YouTube and
SAS, Syracuse Actors Studio on Facebook and
But Amy Luce Films, you'll be able to follow along progress of the documentary. Hopefully, whenever Jay gets his shit together, the documentary will hopefully be done around the same time that the play comes out, more or less.
And what I love about this is the two things that we love so much. Well, acting we love, but film. I love film. Form, and theater is being combined.
Combined, yeah.
It's like
we're combining film and theater.
He's filming, not a play in a sense, but the process.
Yeah, it's coming along. Yeah,
it's gonna be awesome.
So we're here at Wegmans in Fairmount, outskirts of Syracuse, New York.
Yes.
And is there anything you wanted to talk about?
Well, this is again, just anybody tuning in right now, you are watching live Jay Merante Comedy channel on YouTube.
Do we have any people watching right now?
Anybody watching?
7 people are watching.
All 7 of you. If you have not yet subscribed, please subscribe.
Please don't forget to like and subscribe.
I'm just asking. I mean, that's what people do.
Right.
You have a YouTube channel, you want subscribers, because then more people can see this, and we're going to help people.
Get a better reach.
Help you. You could be a young person or an older person. You can be any age and be an actor. If you're interested in acting, watch this.
If you're rotting away in a nursing home right now and you've always wanted to be an actor,
you can still be.
If
you're alive and breathing, you could, because we could use that person.
If you were born yesterday, if you were born last night,
you could. Yes.
You can
still
be.
You wouldn't understand what's happening right now.
You can pretend
your mom can tell you
to want something.
Once you learn to walk.
Yes. I mean, kids make the best actors. Kids and animals.
I know.
Ethan Hawke said.
Let's talk about that. Why?
Yeah.
This is great. I'll ask you questions.
I love that.
We'll
yeah.
Get you going.
We'll do both.
We'll do both.
Both
My question
and,
to you is, you're more the film guy.
I love
Why do
film.
you say this? This is interesting to me. Why
Sure.
are kids better, the best actors?
Well,
Why do kids
Ethan
make movies?
Hawke said
And Ethan Hawke, we're quoting
kids
the
and
great, awesome, underrated
kids and
Ethan Hawke.
animals are
Ethan,
the
you're
best
underrated.
actors because you can't fake it around them. So he said he did White Fang when he was young, early 20s, late teens, after he had done, Dead Poets with Robin Williams. And so when they were training him, they had these like wolf dogs that they used. They were like 99% wolf
Right.
dogs that he had to act around. And he said that was the best. He said if he could ever do a
Yeah.
acting class,
Right.
he would have them. Yeah, he would have the actors acting with animals because he said if you were not fully in the scene, if you were not fully doing that thing, what the fuck is
That man was an unpaid extra.
yeah, as an unpaid
To
extra?
make this more, this is
I
like
mean, we should have
filmmaking.
got him for
He
the
was
thing,
an extra.
right?
He went and grabbed some
Yeah,
napkins, unpaid.
I mean, he was really doing the thing. He was really doing the thing.
We didn't even cue that. We make the
Right.
magic happen. We had an extra in our
Yes,
podcast.
but he
Stay
said.
focused on that.
So
I'm sorry.
Ethan Hawke said if he was faking it in the scene, the dog would like not be in the scene. But if he was like really in the scene, like really feeling those things, really doing those things, the dog would be like totally into it. But as soon as, because dogs can sense
And
off
kids
behavior,
kids are like dogs.
kids are at the same time. So like,
Kids know when you're faking.
yeah. So like me and Harrison are doing a movie. We play
This is
father
so
and
true.
son.
I can see myself with a little
Yeah.
kid. If you want the little kid, if you're really working
Yeah.
hard to get that little kid to do something you want, you got to be.
Yeah,
I
you
get
gotta
it.
really,
You
you
got
got
in there with
the
them.
kid can smell it if you're faking it. You know what I mean? The kid can tell if you're fake. So like kids and dogs make the best. Kids and animals make the best actors.
Oh my
And
God.
if you're
Oh, this
acting
is
with them, you
brilliant.
can't be fake. You have to
Can't be fake.
be.
And now I'm going
real.
to quote another great
Yeah.
actor, Morgan Freeman.
Oh
I
yeah.
think someone else too. I can't think of it. But I know Morgan Freeman said this. The key to acting is to appear like you're not acting. And some
Yes.
actors
Yeah.
don't get that, unfortunately. But I'm
Yeah.
not going to be
And I read a
disrespectful. I
quote.
love everybody. I love over the top actors
Yes.
and grandiose, very stagey,
Right.
theatrical. That's fine. But the key to really good acting is to not appear like you're
Not
acting. Because
appear.
if it's real,
Make it
then
look
the
easy.
audience, the live audience, gets sucked into it. They get pulled in the realer you are. They don't get pulled
Yeah.
in the louder you shout at them,
Yeah.
in my personal opinion. So there's Morgan Freeman.
Yeah, I remember Jimmy Stewart when he passed away. One of the first things I heard somebody say about him was he made it look easy. You know what I mean? It's
Yes.
not. It's not easy, but he made it look easy.
Jimmy
Yeah.
Stewart, the great Jimmy Stewart, who
Yeah.
was awesome in so many films, but we all know him for It's a Wonderful Life.
It's a Wonderful Life. Yeah.
As George Bailey. He was one of the first, I think, that I don't know if he just did it on his own, but he really was real and natural in his films.
Oh
I
yeah.
think, right?
Yeah.
Because even back in the 40s, 30s, 40s,
Right.
50s.
That was when Brando was starting to
Right,
make it.
but remember, acting was
It
more
was
like
very theatrical. It was like filming a play.
right. And
Yeah.
the actors were very aware of the camera.
Right.
And they were almost aware of their emotions. Like,
Right.
yeah, it was, what's the word? It's a melodramatic. It's just over dramatic when
Right.
she would go, John, why don't you love me anymore?
Right.
You know why I don't love you anymore, Doris. Like,
Yes.
people acted that way, man.
Right.
I mean,
In films, yeah.
in films.
And then
You know, it'd be fun if
Brando
we
did
made-
Streetcar
Oh.
Named Desire.
So really, Marlon was like the
and he's
first.
kind
I
of-
think Marlon was the first.
But there was a
real-
movement. I
but
mean, like if you were to
Jimmy
pinpoint,
Stewart was good then.
yes,
Sorry, go.
he made it real.
Anyway.
Another quote about acting I really love that I read recently, and it's been said by so many different actors. This is just one of the people that said it. Is acting is more about listening than talking. You know what I
You're
mean?
golden, man. You're reading my mind.
Because
You're
if I-
leading me right to something I was going to talk
When
about.
when I watch a movie or I see acting, and you see the actors have memorized their lines, whatever, they have the idea of their character, but they're just waiting for their turn to speak. Then they're not waiting for whatever is going to come their way.
So true.
Because
man.
you never know what's going to come your way. I might be like, here, hold this real quick. And
Yeah,
if you're just waiting for your line, you're not going to
that's not
hold
going to
it.
make sense, right?
Yeah, and that's a bad example because it's not something. But if I pick this up and I say, look, holy shit, a home explosion
You're like, oh,
destroys
wow,
everything
man.
but
Then I
a
look at
family.
it, yeah.
But if your line is like, hey, what are we going to do today?
Yeah.
You'll pick this up and you'll be like, hey, what are we going to do today? And it'll be terrible. do you know you have to react to that
Yeah,
first and be like,
yeah.
hey man, that's terrible, but like,
So
what are we gonna do later?
so great
Do you
acting
know what
is
I'm saying?
more about listening. It's
Yeah,
so
I
true.
think
And that
that's
leads right to something else. And I really want to do this the next time I direct. It's going to be hard. I want to break through, especially community theater in
right.
Syracuse. We have talented actors, but I want to break through old habits. And the people that have old habits, not just that they're older, maybe they're veterans, they've done a lot of acting, they get stuck in the things that they do. They're comfortable being this way on stage, right?
What would be
So what
like
are they
an
doing at that
example?
moment?
Yeah,
They're being more,
like having the same
but
mannerisms
yeah,
or
and they're
not.
being more about themselves. What
Right.
you need to do, what I want to break
Think
through, and
about
this
the
has to do with
think
listening,
about the whole.
is well, I want actors, I want to go listen to me. I want you, whoever, let's call him Paul.
Right.
Paul, I want you to be in this scene for Shelley. It's more about Shelley. You know, you got to be more of a giver. You have to be in the scene.
Yeah,
You
Jake
can't be.
Gyllenhaal said.
You got to be trying to help the other
Yeah,
actor with the scene.
yeah,
You
yeah,
got to be. So that's the listening.
yeah.
If you're really listening, the other actor can tell and feel it. So you
Right.
connect with them.
Yeah.
You don't connect with them if you're like, I need to look great in the scene.
Right.
I need to do my thing, and I will make sure the audience hears me. It's almost like a one man show or a
Right.
one woman show
Right.
where
Right.
someone's standing there.
Yeah, Jake
Shoot, I wish
Gyllenhaal
did I
said.
kind of make sense? I'm trying to get there.
Yeah, Jake
That's what I
Gyllenhaal
want.
said the best acting's not a competition. It's when you're in a scene with another actor, you're not competing with them. You're trying to make them better, and they're trying to make you
There it
better.
is. You
So
try
if
to
you're
make them
working
better.
with
You got to be
if you're
about them,
working with a
right?
great actor, you're kind of like teeing up the volleyball so they can spike it, and
Yes,
then
set
they're
it up.
setting it
And
up
if
for
you
you.
don't do the setup, and
Yeah.
then they set back up for you,
But
yes.
here's the thing. Here's the thing. Those two things that we just said,
So
listening
there's
and
a
setting up.
connection. There's listening, and there's
So listen to this.
focus on the other actor.
You know
Don't
how
focus on
you know how I interrupt you a lot. I do.
Well, but I interrupt you a lot too.
But I mean, we
I'm
both.
terrible.
But like here's something that kind of blows my mind, and I don't know where this is going to go. So that's kind of interesting to talk about. Is in life we want acting to be a reflection. You know, Shakespeare is like, let it be a reflection of nature or whatever.
Yeah.
And so in real life, we often do interrupt. We know what we're going to say while the person is talking, and then so like Kenneth Lonergan, for instance, great playwright, did Manchester by the Sea. He'll have a lot of modern playwrights, especially, will do this. They'll have a syllable where the next actor interrupts the next actor.
Mm,
Do you know what I mean? So it's like choreographed.
yeah.
But even in like improv or something, like I'm gonna start talking interrupt me whenever, and like
You want me to
here,
interrupt you?
yeah, like
Okay,
at any time, so it's like, so if I'm talking about acting and the actors are um you know like I'm trying to, let me think,
so
do
you're
an
trying to think of
example.
something right now,
Yeah,
and I'm trying to
so
think of
let's
something.
see,
I'm trying to figure out when you want me to interrupt you.
let's do a little
And now
thing,
we're
let's do a
okay.
little bit,
Well,
let's do a
we'll
little
do a
bit.
bit, but how?
So strawberries, so like I
Okay.
work at the retreat, and I every day that I go and I do the prep, and I have to cut the strawberries, but since I don't have a lot of time, I cut them the wrong
Do you
way,
like
like I cut.
strawberries? What's your favorite fruit?
Well, I mean,
Do you like strawberries or do you
well, I
like?
mean, I was thinking like if you interrupt me with like a story,
Oh, sorry.
do you know what I mean? Because like you go off on a train.
I did yes and
Do you know
people.
what?
That was
Yes,
I
and
went
that
with
was an
it. That was a
example of
good.
like being cooperative, and
That was
like
more like
being
improv.
good in this.
Okay, he's the director. Give me.
But if you're like,
this is great, people.
let's
You're
see.
gonna watch
Oh,
us do a
look,
scene.
Peaches.
No, wait.
Do
I
you
got a
remember
better
that
idea.
song
No, I
like
got a
back from
better
the
idea.
'90s, the
Start
Peaches
talking about the
song?
strawberries idea. You want me to
I have to
interrupt?
talk about something but that you don't care about,
That's
and
what
you
you
have
want me to
something.
do.
You have an
So you're
idea.
gonna talk about strawberries. You want me to interrupt with something else?
Yeah, that could be
But
it.
it doesn't have to
Well,
be
I
peach
mean, it
juice.
doesn't have to be strawberries. I'm gonna throw you off.
No, I got this. I'm sorry, man.
So
This
look
is
at
great.
these ladies
Take
from
two.
World War II. Like they're
Yeah.
dressed up, and I didn't even know they had women in the Air Force during World War II.
Hey,
That
I
reminds
think, I
me.
think the Yanks play tonight. Yanks are on. I don't know. I usually catch them on the radio.
Well, what I'm trying to say is,
Yeah.
so these women, like, there must be Amelia Earhart in there or something, but I didn't
Might
know
be.
they were on the front lines
Yeah,
flying the
women.
aircraft,
That's
because
awesome.
maybe all the guys had died or something.
Yeah.
Not to say that women
I'm
can't fly
about this.
planes.
I'm going along.
I know
with
we're
you.
not really doing it, but
Do you see what we're trying to do, people?
what we're trying to do is
I talked
create.
about the Yanks.
Yeah, the Yankees was good
I
because
think
you
this
see
was a
how I was
good-
disappointed.
I think even though that
It's
this
a good
was,
little rehearsal.
even though this
The
kind of failed a little,
obituaries.
failure is good.
Yeah, the
They
obituaries.
got the idea.
Well,
what we're doing.
I think what happens, that was a bad example because when in
What
real
do you mean
life,
balance it?
what happens is when you're talking about something that both of you are excited about, and then you start to get ideas and you tangent, and then
So
and
maybe
then you're
let's
like,
just start talking, and that'll happen naturally.
yeah, I think it will
I think
happen
I forced it
naturally.
there. I'm sorry.
So acting, we both get
So
really
we just showed
passionate
you
about
how not
acting.
to act, people.
We both get really passionate about acting.
We do. And
Wait,
then
who are some of your favorite actors and why? That'll be. We'll
oh,
both
you want
go.
to go there?
We'll
You want to go
start.
there?
We'll
Ah,
both start to go crazy about it.
I know, I know.
Do you
All right,
know
but
what I
let me try to
mean?
think. Let me go with others that are we know. I beat it's like beating a
Something.
dead horse. I
So
always
you
talk
know
about
who's
Jack
great?
Nicholson.
Heath Ledger.
Yeah, let's talk about people that
Heath
aren't
Ledger's
our
great.
total favorites.
Do you
but we
ever
know
see? Do you
Heath
ever
is
see?
great.
What's that one with Billy Bob Thornton and Haley Berry won the
Oh
Oscar?
shoot,
Monsters Ball.
he was in that.
Yeah,
I didn't even see that.
He plays Billy Bob's son.
Oh,
He's
Heath
so
was
good.
so good.
He's amazing. It's like right before he did Brokeback Mountain, I think might be after, and right before that he did The Dark Knight. Rest in peace. But he's
Oh,
so good. I don't know how to describe it. He's just like very, 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 very real, and he feels really like he plays someone who's a young man who's very uncomfortable in life. But you feel like he's so, as an actor, he's so comfortable in the scene. I don't know how to describe that. Like he really is there.
he's one of the greatest actors I've ever
Yeah.
seen at really just being there
Yeah, he's
in the
there.
moment.
Yeah.
When you talk about in the moment, wow, I don't know how he does it. He gets there.
Yeah. What's an example of an actor that you like that's kind of over the top and theatrical? I like Charles
Um,
Lawton. Charles Lawton is kind of
yeah,
theatrical guy. You know who's really good? Peter Usaloff. You know,
yes, yeah,
yeah, but he's very like kind of Shakespearean in
Shakespearean.
everything that he
I
does.
mean, um,
I
he's
remember
gonna
him.
hate that I'm saying this, but
What's
I don't
that?
want to say it about him.
That's
And I
okay.
love this guy. He's like one of the greatest.
Oh, someone that you
There's
know.
moments where Anthony Hopkins. No, it's funny. Like I know
Okay.
Anthony. Tony and I had dinner the other night.
Tony.
No,
You know he's
Anthony.
autistic.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Anthony Hopkins can. No, he's really real, but he'll have moments where he goes over the top. But he's Shakespeare. Oh wait, Ian McKellen.
Oh
Ian
right,
McKellen.
because he's great.
He's over the top though.
But it's
He's over the
like,
top.
but that's like his flavor of.
Yeah.
Like I can imagine as a producer or
Yeah.
casting.
Well, this
Like
is
when
great.
you're thinking,
We
do you
got
know
back to
that
this.
his famous Gandalf? They
Mhm.
offered that to Sean Connery, but Sean Connery didn't want to do it.
Mm.
Sean Connery was the
And
first
he's
choice.
also Magneto, and he
Yes,
does
Magneto.
tremendous
Yeah,
work.
I
But
heard they want to
don't.
get Daniel Day Lewis
But
to
like,
play
I don't
Magneto.
prefer that style. I'm not saying it doesn't work, and he's not one of my favorite
Right.
actors. He's great, but I don't really prefer that
I
style.
love De Niro
But
because,
he's effective.
like, we both love De Niro because he's
Oh.
less is more.
Wait, right before we go to De Niro, because we need to go to
That's
him.
okay.
Ian McKellen, my friend, John Triana, friend and colleague, I guess. Right, I'm assistant directing Othello. He's playing Iago in Othello.
Iago, that's like the second
and
lead.
it's such an
Jake
awesome
Gyllenhaal
role.
plays
Yeah,
that on
Jake
Broadway
Gyllenhaal plays
right
it.
now. Yeah.
So Iago at different times has this line: "I hate the Moor," and John.
That's a reoccurring line.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's Othello is the Moor.
Right. He's the
I hate
Moor.
the
Yeah.
Moor. And John is such a proponent of, like, John is a phenomenal actor, and I'm not saying he's better at film.
He was great in
than
August
theater.
Osage County.
He's great in both. But the reason I want to see
Oh, is
John,
he a film actor too?
the reason I want to see John, I want to see John in film.
Oh,
Is
nice.
he's more like De Niro. Just say the line.
Say the line.
So
Yeah,
I
actors.
hate the Moor. I hate the Moor. Right? Like, I hate the Moor. Well, he was saying, not making fun of him, but it was a different choice.
It's like I hate the Moor.
Ian McKellen.
Okay.
In a teleplay, pretty sure it was a teleplay.
Do you do Othello?
He was playing Iago.
Oh, okay.
And he went like this. I
younger
wouldn't even be able to do it as over the top as he did, but he went like, I hate
Ian McKellen
the
did that.
Moor.
Oh, okay.
Like
that's a huge. That's a different interpretation.
There's a different choice, right? From I hate the Moor.
Yeah.
I hate the Moor.
I was doing a short film yesterday with my friend Nicole.
I hate the Moor.
And I'm doing this like grimace, and she's directing me in real time, and there's no sound. It's MOS. So I'm doing this grimace face, and then she's like, and I'm like, I look like constipated or something.
Right.
Like, and then I'm doing like this, and then she's like, no, mangled, and I'm like, and then she's like, yes, that's it. So it was just like the word that cued it just mangled sounds mangled.
She did a good. That's great directing.
If it's like if she's like grimace or she's, but that was exactly the style that she wanted. Like if I made this choice or that choice, she wanted this. That was good directing.
That's great directing.
Because she knows what she wants for that. So I don't know.
What's her name again?
I was Nicole. Her stage name is Mongoose.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
Nicole.
We'll say Nicole.
Yeah, but if you look her up on IMDb,
great director.
She plays Amaraya and Amaraya in my spy film that I shot over
God, that's great.
the winter, and Yeah,
Okay,
see if I can get her in
Robert
the
De Niro.
Sentinel. Robert De
De
Niro.
one of the
Robert De Niro.
greatest, just so up
Probably
there.
the greatest. Tarantino says he's the greatest
Yeah.
of his generation.
Yeah.
He did an
I'm not
interview
gonna
for
argue that.
GQ magazine with Pacino next to him, and Pacino said to his face, of course, it could just been because he was being nice, but I believe it, that Raging Bull was the best performance ever done by anybody in a film.
It's hard to argue that.
Yeah, I mean, it's
I
great.
do think it's insane.
It's great. It's super underrated.
He was
I
so.
think, and then it's like
Yeah,
it failed at the box
thing
office.
Is when people,
it got
amazing.
critically.
I cannot believe it
The
failed at
critics
box office.
didn't like it.
All right, here's the
in the '80s. Isn't that crazy?
Such a good film.
One of the greatest performances, one of the greatest films.
And Scorsese
like,
filmed
and that's
so
another
well.
example of if the critics don't like your work, fuck the critics. Because like Raging Bull, the critics didn't like Raging Bull.
Critics were out to
one of the greatest performances.
They were sleeping
Great
on that
film.
All right, here's the
Insane
thing. This always kind of frustrates me, but it's okay. It's because I care so much and I want to become a better actor. It's still a good thing. But when people say, because he really did there, and Daniel Day-Lewis is awesome at doing this as well. In Raging Bull, De Niro was like another person. Like how did he get there? And then I get frustrated because I'm thinking that word. You got to just have your own way. Well,
he trained.
Like
he was boxing for like 16 months. He did 1,000 rounds or 1,000 fights. I don't know if it's 1,000 rounds. And Jake LaMotta trained him. And Jake LaMotta said, he's playing Jake LaMotta. He did 3 professional fights. He won 2 of them. And Jake LaMotta said that he had what it takes to be a pro.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
Wait, De Niro boxed?
Yeah, he boxed for real. He had 3 pro fights. 2 of them he won.
Wow.
To prepare for the role.
He gained
like
cap.
So much muscle. And then of course he famously gained 40 pounds of fat on top of that.
Talk about a method actor.
They paid the crew
the thing is,
for months, and then he traveled around Italy and he would eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner extravagantly, and then he gained 40 pounds for like a month.
How ripped he
and
was.
That's how it started. Was he had the idea for the movie? He brought it to Scorsese. Scorsese was in the hospital because he OD'd on cocaine. He was killing himself, and he hated. And he was like going on a downward slope. And De Niro convinced him that he had to do this movie with him. But De Niro was on the streets of New York, and Jake LaMotta had a club there, and he was fat, overweight, just out of shape. His life was in shambles, and I think he had just been out of prison or some shit like that. And so De Niro was like, "Okay, here's, Jake LaMotta," and they all knew Jake LaMotta because they're all, that was the hometown guy who was the king, heavyweight champion of the world, middleweight champion of the world, something like that. Lightweight champion of the world. What's over there? Yeah. You want to put it down? Just put it against the wall. No.
We're good. We have a moment here,
just
folks.
Put it against the wall. Yeah.
Oh, it'll be perfect.
Yeah. Can we see? Let's see if we can see.
We're good.
You can see. Oh, you can see right there.
Are you gonna be able to come back or no?
Can you see? Yeah, we can see.
Awesome.
It's a little delayed.
All right, we're good there. All right, perfect. Yeah, we're there. So
just a little break in the action.
Just De Niro saw him on the side of the road like fat, and he's like, how did he get that way? And that was, he read the book, and then, he brought it to Scorsese. It's kind of interesting that, he was the one that, as an actor, he was the one that got that shit started. Wow. So it tells you, De Niro has this quote: "If you want something done," and this is De Niro, the greatest of his generation, you got to have 10 things going to get one thing done. So that just
we got a lot going on.
We got a lot going on. So it's good. That's just keep going. You know what I mean? Don't give up on the dream.
Keep pushing. Never give up on the dream.
Keep pushing.
Wow, man. De Niro's so good.
Yeah, he's so good.
Pacino's great.
But his main thing is less is more.
Yeah, less is more. It's so true.
And he has that really quote. He's like, if you look at somebody,
really true of film acting.
Yes. Yeah, for a play, talk about theater acting for a second.
Well,
because I'm not as versed in theater. You're playing for the guy in the back of the room.
Right. So theater is tough because theater.
If you make an expression, you got to really.
Because you got to go over the top, but you don't want to.
You got to really say the thing that you're trying to say.
Put it out there.
It has to go.
Say it.
Get it out. Give it.
Give it to me. That's a callback to it. You got to see it.
You got to
go,
see
go
our
to Jay Merante Comedy.
Jay Merante
and that's
Comedy.
one of
Bad
our
casting.
skits
The
where we're like these
first
two
one, the second
terrible.
one.
I love that the bad directors.
Yeah, we got to do that again.
Give it to me.
Funny. Give it to me.
Oh, I don't know. It's like,
but if you were doing the film version of that, you'd be like, "Give it to me."
Right. But you have to go bigger. You just have to.
You go smaller.
You have to go bigger, and you have to.
But I do
your
love
voice
like Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey is very. He's very like. You know, like he's very like. In the news today. Listen to this. You know,
and the other actors are always flinching.
Right, and that's in film. You know what I mean? That's in film, and like Jim Carrey is like. But I love that. That's very like physical acting.
Jim, call me.
Jim,
you're one of the best.
Yes, thank you, Jim.
You got. You know what? There's a goal. Besides Walton
to get
Goggins,
Jim Carrey in a movie. Oh my God,
Walton Goggins.
Jim Carrey's amazing.
Walton, I'm going to play your brother. We know this.
Right.
It's going to happen. But also, we should try to figure out one day. We love the guy. We should try to write a script that gets Jim back into acting. He's semi-retired.
You know who's kind of in between De Niro and Jim Carrey is Jack Nicholson, your guy, because he's got that crazy, but he's also underplays. He's right in the middle.
And he can go
either way.
Like, Johnny.
I mean, you do see De Niro. De Niro can turn it up too.
He can,
but he usually pulls it back in.
He likes to go the other way.
His phrase always, he's talking to. He's like, I think you need to bring it in a little bit. You know what I mean?
Because that's what's real. Acting needs to be real, especially films.
It's got to feel real. Say this. Sometimes you do something crazy though, and it's real. Like if you see a video of someone being actually crazy, you're like, wow.
And did you ever hear Denzel saying that you're not really acting until you're on stage? It bugged me because I thought, no, there's a lot of great film actors, but I know what he was getting at.
Right.
If you really want to act, he's saying, you have to be on stage. And here's why. Right. When you're on stage, there's no cuts, right? The director, the editor, the lighting can't help you. Well, there is lighting, but you know what I mean? The making of the film, it's the director's medium.
Yeah.
Right, and the editor.
It's because you can choose
when you're on stage,
from all the takes.
When you're on stage, you have to stay in character
the actor's
the whole
medium.
time you're on stage.
Yeah, you screw up, you got to roll with it.
And you've got to stay in character.
You gotta
Whereas
stay character.
Really,
there's no cut.
You shouldn't break character, but say you're off camera. You don't have to. You're not really worrying about it as much. I mean, yeah, you're maybe looking at the guy and trying to help him. If you're a good actor, you want to stay way in character. Right. But I don't know. I just feel like there's this thing. You got to be aware the whole time that I'm on stage, and even though she's talking, I can't just turn it off now. I mean, I'm on stage. I got to stay in character the whole time. And the other thing you have to do on stage is you can't do all the lines like this.
Oh, right, because the audience has to be able to
cheat out
see
sometimes,
them.
And cheating out feels weird.
Right.
Because, if I'm saying to you,
right.
Bob, listen, we got a serious thing we're talking about.
And I can be over here to the audience, and I can be like,
but I'll be like,
but remember that spring day that we were
prancing
around.
You usually open up when it's like a thought like that.
Yes,
I mean, if I'm saying, Bob, listen, this is important, I shouldn't go,
be like,
Bob, listen, this is important. But there's times where you have to talk and then open up a little bit because the audience needs to see your eyes and your face. So you do have to open up a little bit.
That's what I really want to do.
You can't just stay locked like this.
You know why I want to do theater is because I think it's the real test of the actor because you got to go from A to Z.
You got
to be in the moment.
You got to run the gauntlet,
and you got to sustain.
If you forget a line, I have to help cover. If I forget, I can't just go. Oops! It's like if I forget,
and
I have to.
I'll go to a play, and then I'll talk to some of my friends, the actors, after, and they'll be like, "Oh my God, I screwed up here, and they screwed up over there," and I'll be like, "I didn't even notice because you guys blend it right in. It's incredible.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
It's so good.
Great Jack Nicholson. Wait, did I tell it last time? Just cut me off if I told it. Did I tell you that A Few Good Men when he was doing that story? I don't think I did. All right. So, shoot, what's his name? Rob Reiner. Rob Reiner was the director.
Yeah, I met him.
You met Rob Reiner?
Yeah, he was at. I used to work at Justin's Grill on the Boulevard, not on the Boulevard, Carrier Circle.
He was in Syracuse.
His kid was going to SU. One of his kids, and it was Mother's Day.
Oh my God!
And we had a buffet. No, it was a buffet, but he passed me by, and I'm like, I try to say hi to him, and he kind of like just walked by me, but he was right there.
Rob,
he was right there. But I mean, Sleepless in Seattle, he was in that, and Harry Met Sally, he directed that. Princess Bride.
He's a great director.
He directed A Few Good Men.
He's a solid actor too. He doesn't
solid actor too. He's also plays Leo's father in Wolf of Wall Street.
But Rob Reiner tells that's right. Rob Reiner tells the true story of during A Few Good Men,
during the famous scene.
The famous scene where he goes, "You can't handle the
Can't
truth,
handle
son.
the
We live in a
truth,
world
yeah.
guarded by men with guns. Who's gonna do it? You, Lieutenant Weinberg." On and on, right?
Aaron Sorkin
That
wrote that, who
monologue,
also went to
yeah,
SU.
that monologue he gives is so powerful, right? It takes so much out of him to give that, right?
Right.
And he's saying it to Daniel Kaffee, played by Tom Cruise. He's saying it to.
Who's also from Syracuse.
He's basically
What the fuck?
what Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise from
Tom
Syracuse.
Cruise. We got a great
Aaron
Syracuse
Sorkin from
connection.
Syracuse.
Oh,
I
yeah?
wonder if they talked about
Was Bobcat
Syracuse.
Goldthwait in it? No. Okay.
No.
Bobcat's from Syracuse.
Right.
Great comedian, but I'm going off. So wait,
Yeah.
he has to deliver that monologue, right? But they have to get cutaways of everybody.
Right.
Even
They have to do
Kevin,
coverage.
Kevin
It's like
Bacon.
multiple days of
Yeah,
coverage,
like Kevin
right?
Bacon as Jack Ross.
Right.
There's all these just reactions as they're all like, "Oh my God, he's this monologue." You know, Colonel Jessup is going off right now. You have to get a cut of like everybody.
Yeah.
So he had to do that over and over and over.
Right.
That monologue, right? And he said, and Rob said to him, "Jack, how do you want to do this, man? You want to shoot it first, you?" And Jack said, "No, I'll do the monologue for everybody else. Get all of them first." So that's unselfish right there. Everybody else's reaction.
That's interesting.
And he
because
said he gave it 100%.
right every time, yeah.
He didn't have to. He could have just gone like this. You can't handle the
Al
truth.
Pacino's like that, yeah.
You know, it could have been, "You can't handle the truth, son. We live in a world guarded by men with guns. Who's going to do it? You just."
That's what they call a generous actor.
He could have just.
It's like when an actor says, "This actor is so generous."
So he gave it everything
because
he had.
When it's your coverage, you want to get to the best performance you can, because that's going to be in the movie.
So Rob says,
and you're going to look good or bad depending on how good you are in those moments.
So Rob
your close-ups.
says, and so Rob says to him, "Jack, maybe you want to take it a little easy, man. I mean, you got yours. You got to do it. We got to do it on you. Your close up of it, and we got a lot to do here, man. Maybe save it up." He said to him, and I can't really do the Jack Nicholson. I used to be able to do a good impersonation, but he said to him, "Rob, I love acting so much, man. I never get a role.
Oh, you got your grid.
I never usually can get a role this good. I mean,
nice.
He loves acting so much, and he loves such a great role. It's not oftentimes.
It's one of his best roles.
Oh,
I mean, he got the Oscar for
Good Men.
As good as it gets. A Cuckoo's Nest.
Cuckoo's Nest.
Did he get Chinatown?
No, he was nominated.
And
he was nominated for A Few Good Men, just didn't win it.
And About Schmidt, he got the Oscar for that too, right? Or the Globe?
No, it was.
I didn't
About
see
Schmidt
that movie.
was, I think, a nomination again where he lost. I got it. Wait.
Another
Terms
one?
of Endearment.
Terms of Endearment. Did he win?
He won that.
So he has 3 Oscars, 2
He's
main
won 3.
and
2
1
main
supporting.
And 1 supporting, right.
Daniel Day-Lewis has 3 main. Frances McDormand has 3 main, right?
They're amazing.
Does she have 3 main or 2 main?
I don't know. We got to look it up. Look it up.
She has
2 at least, maybe 3.
3 Billboards. She has Fargo. And does she have 1 more?
Wait, the name of the movie is Billboard?
Nomadland.
I never saw that one.
Oh, that's so good. I think she has 3 lead actress Oscars, which is tied with Daniel Day-Lewis.
I mean, look, they're again.
I mean, it's not a competition.
Well, this is
like
the thing.
that.
We were talking about this, and I'm not saying I don't think De Niro is the best. We all have our
Meryl Streep,
our preferences. I was talking to Joe the other day
John
about
Cazale.
There's like a level. Once you get past a certain level and you're in that rarefied top, it's hard to say who's better.
Right.
They're just all so
just different,
good.
and you have different flavors. You have different styles.
Right? It's like ice cream. It's like vanilla or chocolate ice cream or strawberry.
You also have.
But I agree. De Niro really. He just gets it.
And love
De Niro did do some stage too. I heard.
Oh, he did.
No way. Yeah. When he was younger. So
like in New York.
Only a film actor.
Like New York with Pacino when they were all coming up in like the West Village and doing like little plays here and there. Yep. That's what I really wish I went that route. Everybody has a different route though. You can't be like, oh, I wish I did that or this.
And
I always wanted to you romanticize the poverty of it, but you go to New York like Derek Powell's doing right now, and just slum it.
We're with you, kid.
And audition, get 1,000 no's. 1,000 no's, pick up whatever job you can pick up. Wait tables, pay the rent. You got like 7 roommates, and you go until you make it. Whatever that means.
Never give up. But we're not our way is not better, but our way is a way to
making films.
We're just doing it.
I always say if I die in Syracuse, having only made films in Syracuse, I'll still be happy.
Because
so we're living the dream right now.
Wait, now you're right now working on your 5th, right? You want to get to 10.
5th,
what was the thing?
5th, maybe 6th. I can't even remember how many
5th
movies.
Or 6th you've made.
I feel like after 10 movies, I'm gonna. It's not like a magic number, but I feel like I'll be better at making movies, and there'll be better movies. But
you're gonna like where you're at when you hit Ted.
I'm really trying hard. I'm
doing
I'm
awesome, man.
trying to find my
This
own
guy.
pace. You know what's a really good quote yesterday? I was listening to Roger Deakins' podcast. Him and his wife, James is her name, Deakins, and they have a great podcast. And the guy who I can't remember his name, but he directed Field of Dreams, and great movie, legendary movie. And
Yep.
so he said when he did Sneakers after Field of Dreams, and the studio was like, can we get you to do this movie Sneakers with Robert Redford, River Phoenix,
I
Sidney
remember that film.
Poitier,
It's been a long time.
Dan
Sidney Poitier.
Aykroyd,
That was a good movie.
and so he basically gave him the producer a list of things that he wanted, thinking that he would never get the job. But he's like, I only do it if I get this, 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 and this. And so the producer went back to the studio and was like, we can get him. We can get him. And they gave him everything. They gave him his dream cast, his dream budget, all locations, whatever. And he got Sidney Poitier, who, first African American man to get the Academy Award. After
legend.
that, there's also the lady from Gone with the Wind that won, but she wasn't even allowed to attend the ceremony. That's how racist they were back then.
Was beyond
but anyway, so Sidney Poitier, he broke the color barrier, winning for Heat of the Night, I think.
Yeah.
Or no, Lilies of the Field.
Lilies of the Field?
Heat of the Night, he got nominated, but I don't think he should have won. But anyway, Rod Steiger won for that. But anyway, Sidney Poitier told him this great thing that just really hit me hard was not that I'm going to stop working, but Sidney Poitier said we create from the quality of our work comes from the quality of our life, the fullness of our life.
Right.
So if we're just working all the time, we don't have any life to put into it. But if we fill our lives, if we take time to fill our lives,
gotta have those breaks.
then we can put into the things.
Yeah.
So I feel like even the good and the bad, like when you're going through struggles in your life, you're having a hard time, or when you're going on a beautiful walk or spending time with your loved ones, you're filling your life with beautiful things. Like tomorrow, me and Harrison are going to go to Ithaca and see this movie and spend the day walking around and stuff. And like,
and soak in Ithaca.
If we didn't have
great.
if we didn't have days like that, then you're not gonna what's the quality of your work gonna be? Do you know what I'm saying?
Great call, man. I mean, I'm trying.
But also, I go to my job, wait tables, and I get shit on for 3 days straight.
But you're experiencing.
But now you're
struggle,
like, the struggle of life. I feel like if I was rich, I wouldn't have that struggle in the same way.
I know.
And I would have very, very first world problems. Like they would give me almond milk instead of oat milk in my latte, and I would be complaining about it. And I'd be like, Joe, shut the fuck up.
Almond milk,
Here's this homeless guy that hasn't had a cup of coffee in a month. You know what I'm saying? Or
the insanity of it.
Do you know what I mean? And you see those movies in Hollywood.
I want justice.
So I feel like, you got to fill your life so that you can fill your art. You know what I'm saying? That's right. And so the good and the bad, go into people. Yeah, the good and the bad.
Well, this isn't.
Otherwise, you start making movies about making movies, and that's all that you got.
No, we don't.
And then you run out of gas.
I know. But see, I get you, and I got to go with that, but I'm older than you, so I get nervous because I'm like, but I'm running out of time, but I got to just chill. I mean,
a lot of actors really blossom when they're older.
I really am on a weird run right now, though, of doing like too much, but it's okay. I have to see it through. I have to finish Othello, and then I got one more. I'm doing Much Ado About Nothing.
You also got Claudius.
Yes.
Claudius.
Well, that's but see, that's always
you're producing it because you're probably it's like a 24/7.
Always working the Claudius thing.
Yeah.
But these other two.
How's that coming? Did you get any money yet?
No, I did not get any money.
So how'd that meeting go?
I had a good meeting with a gentleman that probably doesn't want to be named.
Did you get any money?
No, but he didn't say no. He kind of left it, but he didn't say no. It's the first guy on a long list of possible investors.
How much money do you think it's going to take?
I don't know. I mean, at least, this is shoestring budget here, man. But at least $5,000.
I'm usually on a shoestring.
At least $5,000.
Yeah, that's like,
probably more than that. But I'm going to say
it's like a very thick shoestring, I think.
Yeah, it's a thick shoestring.
It's like a rope.
It's a rope. It's a rope budget.
It's like a small rope.
Man, we could go forever. Should we wrap it up soon?
Should we wrap it up?
Yeah, in a minute.
Right, we gotta do laundry, and I gotta get Harrison some food.
Yeah, you got to get the kids some food.
Harrison, you want to take over on the?
So this is how we're gonna wrap it up. Please like and subscribe.
You want to zoom in?
Please like and subscribe.
Are there any people still watching?
Anybody watching still? 4?
Oh, there's nobody.
Okay,
there's nobody watching.
We had 7 though. It's okay.
We scared them away.
We scared them away.
Don't worry, it's gonna go on the channel, so you're gonna be able to watch it again.
Here's the thing.
Oh, somebody's back in. Somebody's back in.
That's great. Someone's back in.
Thanks
we had
for
7
watching.
views. That's not bad. So listen,
You're
if you're
going to be
watching,
able to watch the whole
like
thing.
and subscribe, Jay Merante Comedy.
And we're going to post the whole thing.
Like and subscribe
on the channel.
Syracuse Actor Studio,
Yeah.
run by Joe
and Laura Stisser. Yeah.
Yep, she does
Took
great.
me a whole 2 years to figure out how to say everything.
Your last name is.
Before we
so
go,
you gotta subscribe to this.
Give us a word of wisdom or something.
Oh my gosh,
For this
he's
one
putting me
guy.
on the
spot
spot.
right now.
Putting me on the spot.
Let me tap my
Oh, wait,
mic back.
why'd you give it to me?
Just because
Okay.
it's a prop.
My word of wisdom is
they're gone.
Stay
They're
true to
gone.
yourself.
Stay true to yourself.
As an actor, always keep working at it. Don't think you've ever arrived. You always take on each new project like a child coming into it for the first time.
Yes.
And don't bring your tricks with you. I mean, yes, you know how to do it.
Right.
But don't bring all those like weird.
I think
tricks.
my advice
Don't bring
is
the past into the now. Stay in the moment.
interrupt
Listen to the other
Jay.
actor.
Just kidding. My advice is take pee breaks. Don't destroy your colon. And
Always wear matching socks.
Always mention. No, let me think of a good one.
Never leave the house wearing. It's got to be new, fresh underwear that you put on.
Let me think of a good one. Oh, this is a good one. I'm gonna leave you with this. Is David Bowie once said, "Remember what made you love the thing in the first place, and go back to that because that'll keep you inspired and fresh."
Okay, this is filmmaking.
And yeah, that's that. You know what I mean? That's that. So I think we should wrap it up.
All right. God bless you all. We'll see you next time.
Thank you so much. I'm
Zoom
fine
back,
with it.
kid. No. No. I'm hideous.
All right.
I'm not ready
See you later.
I'm not ready
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
All right.
Take
care.
Turn it off.
All right.